big three kings of Orient are bearing gifts. We travel so far, field and fountain, moor and mountains, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star of royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Born a king of Bethlehem's plain, gold I bring to crown him again. King forever ceasing, never over us all to reign. Whoa, star of wonder, star of night, star of royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star of royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light.
Good evening, everybody. I'm speaking to you from the city of Johannesburg to read you a story about what happened in the city of Jerusalem many years ago. I'm going to read from the book of Matthew, chapter 2, from the first verse up to the 12th one. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea, during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, "Where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? We saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him." When King Herod heard this, he was disturbed, and all Jerusalem with him. When he had called together all the priests, the people's chief priests, teachers of the law, he asked them where the Messiah was to be born. "In Bethlehem in Judea," they replied, "for this is what the prophet has written. But you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel." Then Herod called the Magi secretly and found out from them the exact time the star had appeared. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search carefully for the child. As soon as you find him, report to me so that I too may go and worship him." After they had heard the king, they went on their way, and the star they had seen when it rose went ahead of them until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were overjoyed. On coming to the house, they saw the child and with his mother, Mary, and they bowed down and worshipped him. Then they opened their treasures and presented him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to go back to Herod, they returned to their country by another route. It's a very beautiful story about men who came from their country and they go to another country. And they go there with the purpose of having to worship this newborn king. You see, these men were men of reason. They, in their country, it was at some stage law to worship the God that was worshipped by Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, and a remnant of Jews who had stayed in their country, who were captured there. Out of the ministry and the faithfulness of Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and that remnant, who were supernaturally saved for the right to actually worship this God, then these men were all in their country were compelled legally to worship this God. And in a sense, they were disciples of the ministry of Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and all others who believed in this God. And they were trained in their traditions. And that's why it was clear when the time of the fulfillment of the prophecy of the birth of Jesus came, they caught that time. They understood that time, and they were supernaturally led up to Jerusalem. In Jerusalem, they go to another ruler, just like it was tradition many years in their countries, where a ruler said they must be able to worship God. They come to an earthly ruler. Unfortunately, this earthly ruler in Jerusalem is not aligned with the prophecy about the coming of Jesus. And they then are led to the baby Jesus. And it is said that they come there to worship him. Just like they had worshipped the God who's the father of Jesus Christ in Babylon many years ago in his country, in their country. They are now coming to worship in Bethlehem. And they use gold, frankincense, and myrrh. They symbolically worship him. And their knees were bowed down to the baby Jesus. So as we get to this time of Christmas, may we sincerely bow down our knees and worship Jesus like these men had worshipped him. But that we should do it so purposefully, so purposefully, so seriously, that we will not be dissuaded or swayed by earthly rulership, because they had to worship him supernaturally, guided by the star and guided by God supernaturally. And when they had found Jesus, they went a different way. They lived a different lifestyle and continued, I want to believe, to worship and tell the story of Jesus Christ back in their country. May we too be able to find Jesus, worship him, and tell others through now social media and other ways about this wonderful King who needs to be worshipped, not only by those in Jerusalem, in Bethlehem, but also those that had come from their own country, that the whole world will come to know Jesus and worship him. Thank you. Amen.